Hey guys, Anitra J here from the Crafted Musician blog. I post weekly videos right here on YouTube helping musicians build a fan base and make money with music. Sometimes as an independent musician, you tend to feel very self-conscious about yourself. You tend to have a lack of confidence, a lack of self-worth, self-esteem, and a lot of times in my one-on-ones, musicians ask me, how do I build self-confidence? How do I boost my self-confidence? So today I want to talk about 4 ways you can boost your self-confidence. If you want to learn more DIY hacks for your music career, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be personally notified every time we upload a new video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is embracing your flaws. Your flaws, they make you unique. They make you stand out. They make you who you are. So thinking of your flaws as something that is positive rather than negative can really help you to put yourself out there and just be more confident in yourself. Your looks, your musical abilities, how you come across on stage, feeling awkward, not feeling articulate, or not being articulate enough. These are all things that make you who you are. These are all things that you could improve upon, but it's not something that you really need to obsess about because we're all different. We all have things that we bring to the table. We all have flaws, but also the thing to think about is if you have a flaw in one area, then that means that you have an extraordinary ability in another area, right? So I'm not the greatest guitarist. I only know just, your basic chords. I don't really put melody together on my guitar, and when I'm playing, it's my stage presence and persona is more about my vocal abilities, my vocal acrobatics, and being able to harmonize, being able to come up with melody vocally, right? And so I also have really great gift of gab where I can just kind of talk to people and hang out, have a good time, tell stories. So that's what makes up my show and my stage presence, and it helps to kind of make up for the lack of guitar abilities. But on the flip side, I could also take more guitar lessons and spend time honing my guitar skills. So it's just, what I'm trying to say is that if you have a flaw, if you have something that makes you feel self-conscious, it's not something to obsess about, but also it's something that maybe there's something that you can improve upon as well. So think of it in a positive sense instead of a negative sense. Another thing you can do to boost self-confidence is to build a support system. Surround yourself with people who you trust, safe family members, your spouse, your partner, friends, fellow musicians, people who are there to support you, people who are there to provide nurture, support, uplift, encouragement, people who are there to help you to feel like you belong. And that's one thing that us musicians really need, is a place of belonging, a place where we can feel safe, a place where we can vent our frustrations and be uplifted. Let's say you get a negative review, or you don't get a call back from an audition, you don't get responses from your inquiries and your pitches. You need someone there to help you, to say, you know what, it's okay. Let's look at what we can learn from this, and let's try it again next time, and here's what we're going to implement next time. There are things that you can do to boost your self-confidence, but people can be there to help you, remind you of those things, to help you to come out of the funk and to have more balance. So be mindful of who you have around you. If people are in your life who are giving you negative vibes or not encouraging you, not uplifting you, and there are people who can be this way, people who are jealous of you, people who can come off as your friend, but in actuality they're jealous of you, they're not your friend, and they're looking for your downfall. And this can be friends, this can be family members, this can be parents, it can be people who technically are not supposed to be this way, but they are. And so you have to be more intentional on who you allow in your safe spaces, who you allow in your circle, and make sure that you incorporate people who you can trust, people who will uplift you and who will give you that positivity that we all need and yearn. The third thing you can do to boost your self-confidence as a musician is to make self-improvements. You don't have to accept your flaws and think that is what it is and I can't do anything about it. There are things you can do to improve upon yourself. Like I said before, I'm not the greatest guitarist, but I can take lessons, I can practice more, I can hone in on those skills to make myself a better guitarist. So there are things you can do to improve. You can take improv lessons if you feel like you don't have good stage presence. You could read self-confidence books. You can get a life coach. You can get into therapy to look at your deep-seated issues when it comes to feeling inadequate. There are things that you can do to improve upon yourself. You don't have to stay in that place. And lastly, learn to love on yourself. Learn to encourage yourself. Learn to reframe negative self-talk, right? So if you have a tendency of engaging in negative self-talk internally, like in your mindset, learn to reframe that. Learn to provide a rebuttal. So if you just finished doing a song and you feel like it was horrible, sometimes you have that negative self-talk, you know what I mean? It was horrible. I don't even know why I'm up here. I don't deserve to be up here. I'm incompetent. I'm stupid. Things like that. You can reframe that. You don't have to accept those thoughts in your mind. You can say to those thoughts, no, I'm not stupid. Or I could have done a better job at that song, but it wasn't horrible, right? You can tell yourself things that are positive instead of negative. You don't have to accept those negative thoughts. And that's something that you have to develop as a skill, because as musicians, we're sensitive people, and I'm about to get deep here, but a lot of us have gone through things, especially in childhood. We've gone through trauma, we've gone through feeling invisible, we've gone through toxic relationships, and it's impacted us in very negative ways, and that tends to come out in negative self-talk. It tends to come out in how we interact with people, how we interact in relationships, how we interact with ourselves. And a lot of times we don't treat ourselves the best, especially if you learned at an early age that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you don't deserve something, you don't deserve success. If you learn that as an early age, then it's going to be hard to feel confident. It's going to be hard to feel like you're worthy, feel like you deserve to be here, you deserve to be on that stage. So you have to spend time reframing that language, that internal language. You have to spend time reframing those thoughts. And so that's what I mean when I say learn to love on yourself. Learn to reparent yourself. Learn to tell yourself supportive messages so that you can begin to shift your paradigm, shift your thinking. And also that ends up being important with activities in self-care, engaging in self-care like journaling, taking a day off, buying yourself something, and treating yourself to love. And when you do that, when you make a habit of doing that, you become more balanced, you become more realistic in your thinking in terms of feeling adequate, in terms of not feeling like an imposter so much. You become to be more yourself and feel good with that. So those are the 4 things that I wanted to share with you about boosting your self-confidence. There's one more that I wanted to share, but I don't really have time today. I have to go in and take care of my girl. But if you want to learn more about boosting your self-confidence, go to my website. I do have an article, things that you can do as a musician to boost self-confidence. Go over to the blog and take a look at that. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and keep it crafty.
Building confidence in your music starts with a strong mission statement. If you know why you're doing what you're doing, you'll have a much stronger foundation to stand on during difficult times. For help creating a mission statement for your music, check out my free mission statement building worksheet for musicians. Click on the link in the description box below. Head on over to thecraftedmusician.com for more tips and tricks to level up your music career. Talk to you soon.